YouTube, what's going on? It's Juan Gotti here with another Washington Commanders video, and in today's video, I'm coming on here to talk about the Washington Commanders' hardest games on their 2022 schedule. So without further ado, let's get straight into today's video. But before we do, make sure to go down below, leave a like on this video, subscribe if you're new, and turn on post notifications so you get notified when I upload a video about the NFL, or in this case, our Washington Commanders. We're on the road to 4,000 subscribers, so hit that subscribe button again if you haven't already. Let's get straight into today's video. So when I say hardest games, we're going to be looking at the ones that I believe is going to be the most challenging for the Washington Commanders, and that is just going to be all opinionated based. Now, for you, every game could be challenging, but there are some games, for the most part, that I believe Washington, on paper, should take care of, but there are some games that could be a little challenging. So let's get straight into it, man. So as you guys know, yesterday, the schedule released. We already knew who we were playing, but the schedule released of how many primetime games we were going to have, when's the bye week, and how many home games and stuff like, you know how the schedule is, right? First, before we get into it, I want to talk about the bye week. What side of the fence are you guys on when it comes to the bye week? Or do you guys feel like the bye week is too late, or do you guys feel like it's at a perfect time? Me personally, I think the bye week is at a good time. Yes, I understand it's going to be long, 14 games or 13 games before we get to our bye week. I understand that, but I would much rather have a late bye week and then have a super early one than when we need a bye week late down the stretch, like to heal up or something, we don't have it. So I like the week 14 bye week. That's just me, though. Off the top, looking at our schedule, the Washington Commanders versus the Dallas Cowboys, both games are hard. Every year, we get hyped up about the Cowboys in Washington. I do too. I always think we have a chance to beat them, man. And we always underperform, especially last year. They kicked our butt, man. Like straight up, both games, especially the first game at home, man. I did not expect that. We were 6-6, riding a 4-game win streak, man. I thought at least if we were going to lose, I didn't think it was going to be in that fashion. And yes, it did look close on the scoreboard, but scores can be deceiving. Both Dallas games are going to be hard. We know that. That's a division rival. They beat us every time. We're yet to beat Dak Prescott. We only beat him one time and that was in with Jay Gruden and the snap infraction thing or whatever. So we only beat him one time, man, and he's dominated us ever since he stepped foot in the NFL, man. And I hope this year's the year we finally get back against the Cowboys and Dallas and Dak, man, because we owe them one bad. So to both Dallas games right there, those are gonna be challenging. Those are gonna be hard. Those rank amongst the hardest games on our schedule because they want to talk about us having the easiest schedule, which statistically we do. But again, like I said, there are challenging games on our schedule because every team on our schedule, believe it or not, has improved. So two games right there, that's hard. Dallas, both games. Then you go to the Philadelphia Eagles. Philadelphia Eagles, man. Another division opponent. Division games are always challenging, especially playing in the link is challenging. But they did upgrade too, getting A.J. Brown, having a good draft, getting Jordan Davis, getting Nakobe Dean. They had a solid offseason. Now, again, their biggest question mark is like ours, their quarterback position. What are they going to get out of Jalen Hurts? They don't know. He's a big question mark. But if they can get solid play out of Jalen Hurts, that team is going to be a playoff team. If they stick to what they did last year that led them into the playoffs, which was running the ball with Miles Sanders, they could be a borderline playoff team. And both games we know is going to be challenging. Yes, we lost to them last year. And again, like everyone likes to say, I'm agree with everyone. And when they say this, I'm agree with you guys. That sweep that they got last year was fool. Like, they didn't earn that sweep. Like they played Garrett Gilbert and we almost won. The second time we should have won. We were up, but at that point the season was over. Nobody really cared. So those two games right there, that's 4 games that I believe could be challenging for the Washington Commanders, man. And again, like I said, every game could really be challenging if you look at it. But again, there's some games that I just believe there is no way Washington could lose. Like, first 2 games of the season, they're practically giving us a 2-0 start. No disrespect to the Lions or Jaguars, they got better. Both teams did, but we shouldn't lose. They gave us a 2-0 head start. So that's 4 games right there that I believe could be challenging. Then you have the Packers, man. I know the Packers, they lost Devontae Adams, but they still have the bad man Aaron Rodgers. I understand he doesn't play well at FedEx Field, but anytime you got Aaron Rodgers, man, you still have a chance. You got Aaron Jones, you got you got Christian, what's his name, Watson from North Dakota State that they just got. So I understand that they did lose a lot of pieces, man, but they still have Aaron Rodgers, bro. And anytime you have him on your team, it don't matter who you have around him, he's gonna be successful. So that is going to be challenging too. I definitely think we can beat the Packers. We almost beat them last year. We should have beat them last year if we could have capitalized in the red zone there at Lambeau. But it is what it is. But that game's going to be super challenging too. And then you look at the Titans. Titans game is iffy to me. I don't think it's going to be super challenging, but I'm only going to include it considering the fact that I believe Derrick Henry's going to pick up where he left off before his foot injury last year. But considering the fact that they lost A.J. Brown and they really don't have no weapons outside of him. I mean, they got Robert Woods, but, I mean, isn't he coming off a torn ACL? Then they got Treylon Burks. How fast do you think he's going to, develop? He was quote-unquote raw coming into the NFL, so how fast do you expect him to develop? But again, you got Derrick Henry, the best running back in all of football. Yes, I know Jonathan Taylor probably was the best running back in football last year, but Derrick Henry didn't get hurt. I'm pretty sure he was on his way to possibly another 2,000-yard season. So that game could be challenging considering the fact that they still have Derrick Henry. But outside of that, I think that's a game that we should win. But I'm still going to include it in the hardest games on our schedule. And then after that, the only other game that I really think is challenging is probably the Browns game, because I think the Browns are going to be really, really good if Deshaun Watson plays. If Deshaun Watson is their quarterback, they're going to be really, really good, and they're going to be competing in that AFC North, man. But that's 6 or maybe 7 games that are super challenging in my opinion. But even still, we have a good chance to win those games. And other than that, every game I believe is Washington should win. I know we're not going to win every game. I know there's going to be games where we're going to slip up because that's just the Washington thing to do. But again, guys, like I said yesterday, there's no reason why this team shouldn't win at least 10 games. This is the first time ever being a fan. Sorry about that. This is the first time ever being a fan that I'm expecting a good season. Normally I'm like, okay, 8 and 8 and 9. No, 9 and 8. But this year, I'm expecting this team to take that next leap, man. Ron Rivera, when he keep holding this over his head, he said it takes 3 to 5 years to change a culture in the military. So this is the first year that I'm expecting this team to do something, man. And they couldn't have gave us an easier schedule. The games that I read off to you, in my opinion, are probably the most challenging, but even those games are still winnable. If you look outside of that, you got the Giants twice, you got the Texans, you have the Lions and Jaguars to start the season off. And then you have the Vikings, who, they got better, but I think we can take them. The Colts, Matt Ryan, what is he going to do there? I think we can take them. I think we can take them. Then you have the Bears, developing Justin Fields and a new head coach, new general manager there. So I think we can beat the Bears. We should beat the Bears. And then you look at let's see, who else should we beat? Atlanta, another team that we should beat because they got Marcus Mariota or Desmond Ridder. I don't think either one of those quarterbacks could beat us, man. So if this team could just live up to the potential that they have, man, offense and defense just play up to par, it's no reason why this team shouldn't win at least 10 games. So, yeah, man, there you have it. Let me know what you guys think about this video in the comment section. Are there some games on our schedule that I'm, kind of discrediting that I don't think that you think is harder than what I'm looking at? Make sure you guys leave a like on this video. Subscribe if you're new and turn on post notifications so you get notified when I upload a video about the NFL, or in this case, I watch the Commanders. We're on the road to 4,000 subscribers. We're ever so close, man. We're 60 away, man. I can't wait to hit 4,000. So make sure you guys help me out and get me there to 4K. I'm out. Like, comment, subscribe. Peace.